What the hell is that?
It's Christmas. Need the holidays to show time and still moving.
So why not take this fantastic opportunity to talk about our forever favorite topics regarding Prometheus. In this first episode, we are going to have a closer look on the movie's prologue scene and hear some very interesting information from one of the co-writers, the editor, and the director himself. Now, you know that they say that the film's first and last frame is especially relevant. Well, this setting with the planet is dearly reminiscent of 2001 A Space Odyssey's opening. And I believe it's not a coincidence, as these first couple of minutes of Prometheus feels like it's about kind of Ridley Scott's version of the Dawn of Man sequence.
Which actually is Iceland, and just outside of Reykjavik. I wanted a stretch of landscape that would look primordial, in other words, pre-time, no trees, very little green vegetation, only lichen, a little bit of tundra maybe. And I wanted to make it a non-specific, I'm not sure where this planet is kind of idea.
And this sequence is relatively exactly the same as it was in John's script, which preceded my work on the project. But the idea of sort of starting the movie in some sort of nascent, pastoral, lifeless Earth was the idea. And then one of the things that I thought would be cool here is adding in this shadow, the idea that, this is not just your traditional helicopter shot, we're actually in something. What could it be?
Well, we all came to learn what it was, or did we? Because after the prequel idea was established and Lindelof also added his notions of previsitation to the script, a more extended prologue scene was planned to take place at the beginning of the film.
And now as we approach the waterfall, which is so fundamentally primordial in terms of just the gushing water, the lack of, green life, flora or fauna, all rock and water, it seems to be the fundamental basis of life itself. We meet now one of the guys who was on the ship, who we later learn are called engineers. That's metaphorical. Are they the engineers of the universe? Are they the creators of the universe? And what is this man doing?
This sequence in the script was much longer. We see this engineer kind of coming out with a bunch of his buddies and talking to each other in a proto-language, as it were, that would either be subtitled or not subtitled. Ridley actually shot that.
I'm Pietro Scalia, and I'm the editor of Prometheus. So this opening prologue scene, the sacrifice of the engineers, what you're seeing here is the extended, longer version, where you actually see older engineers handing over the bowl for the sacrifice. After living with the scene for a very long time, we decided that we would want to use less of the other engineers and have the single engineer be there by himself. It had to do partly with length, but also the idea of a lone figure by himself, sacrificing himself. Keep it more mysterious is what ultimately we preferred. So we worked around it and eliminated some of the engineers from the mountains, from the back. The idea was simply to keep it magical and more mysterious.
The title sequence for the word Prometheus, which I've finally learned to say without lisping, so I get a sense of seeding. Am I witnessing a seeding process? And seeding of what? Witnessing a seeding of his DNA.
As to whether or not this planet that he is seeding life on actually is Earth, it's probably a subject for debate. That was certainly the intention in the writing. And I think probably Ridley's intention too. This is the beginning of life as we know it. And here's the title, Prometheus, which was a long and involved conversation as to what we were going to call this movie. I think Untitled Alien Prequel was probably not the way to go. And Ridley would constantly bust my balls about calling it Prometheus because he thought it was pretentious and hard to pronounce. I said I agree it is both, but as I'm a very pretentious person, I was able to sort of bludgeon him into it, and I think Fox thought it was cool.
It indeed is, I think. And I hope you like this first part of Detail Junking Prometheus. Stay tuned for the next episode.
Might want to make your way down.
Well, I haven't had my breakfast yet.